Hey guys, welcome to the lab where we experiment thoughts and leave behind our moments as we break down our ever growing life of a young adult. Today we have Kevin Joe in the lab. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Chris. Hi, guys.
Before we start, I think we should introduce who you are. So, Kevin,
Yeah.
can you introduce who you are? Like, I'm seeing you, but people are going to be listening to you because this is like a podcast. So, for
Woo.
those who are listening, who are you? What do you do? And yeah, tell us about you, Kevin.
Hello, guys. My name is Kevin. Kevin Joe. I'm Korean. The Korean name is called in English Seong Hyun, but in Korean it's called Song Hyun. Yeah. So just call me Kevin. That's much easier to call it. And I'm a full-time worker. I'm doing welding, metal fabricator, working as a metal fabricator, and CAD drafter. I don't think many people know about this CAD CAD. And I've been doing this since 2014. Yeah, it's
Wow.
been pretty long. Yeah, that's when I
24.
was 19 years old. Okay, guys, that's
Wow.
me, Kevin.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow, Kevin, like already from the beginning, like welding
yeah.
from 2014. Wait, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, 7 years? Okay, yes, I don't know
Yeah.
math. I study math, but clearly I don't do math.
Well, this is the fun part. I like that. But in between, I went to TAFE, so I had to work as a part-time,
Mm.
and like several months I worked at a cafe and
Mm.
went to another like musicology.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I've been keep doing it as a part-time when I was a high student. Yeah,
Wow.
so it's since then been doing it.
What made you want to learn welding? Like, did you have an interest for it, or why welding, if I may ask?
Why welding? Um, if I answer to the question simply in a word, it is just environment, surroundings. Yeah, so I was in I went to technology high school in Korea where
Oh.
I got to learn piping and welding, CAD, and yeah, and I heard that this kind of skills is kind of well known and can earn like pretty well in this country.
Mm.
Yeah, so I just get to do it. So that's
Wow.
why I said surroundings and like environment, just
Yeah, yeah.
circumstances.
You already had the skills and then you came to Australia and then you did the job or yeah.
Yeah, so me staying here and me like deciding that I'm determined to stay here, it's not
Mm.
always planned at the first place. So
Mm.
how I come to Australia, like why? So in my high school, there was a program that was called global internship, I'll say.
Yeah.
So once you join that program, like you can get help with your English studying, getting more other like skills like what I'm doing, like welding, it's like this and that. And at year 12, once you pass a test, um, then you are sponsored by government when it comes
Ooh.
to like money and like homestaying only
Wow.
for like 3 months. That's how I, like got to come here. And when I came,
Oh.
what I was thinking is that I was going to just stay like 6 months something, like
Mm.
just just to experience something
Mm.
new world. But then it's become more than 6 years now. I only thought about like 6 months, but then I liked it and I liked it more. And I told my parents that I like here and I want to stay a bit more,
Mm.
like a year. And
What?
when it becomes about 1 year, I remember I called my parents again. Hey, I'm gonna stay like 1 year more, which is 2 years. And after that, I just decided to stay like more.
What? So it wasn't,
Yeah, yeah.
so you never came with the intention of staying long. You
No,
came here for a
no, no,
short
no.
time and then it became 6 years.
Yeah, yeah.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah,
What? That's so crazy.
yeah. I
What?
think some people experience that, and anyway, like, it wasn't planned at all. Never planned it.
Wow.
Yeah, I think, but
Okay.
that's how life goes somehow.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
But what was that big decision that made you choose that big move? Like, I don't think it's
I-
easy to kind of decide, like, you stay here for 3 months and you like it, and so you stay. Like, most of the times it's
yeah,
like, I like it and I'll come back. So they go back to their home country and then they would come
yeah,
back.
yeah,
But for you, you
yeah.
stayed, right?
There are like some reasons, several, I'd say, but the simply one thing was, it's beautiful, like, what do you say, environment, like grass and nice and clear
Mm,
sky.
mm,
I just really love it.
wow.
That's what really got me here. Hmm.
Wow.
That's
So,
one of
so
the
y
things.
you would choose like the Australian weather and like the nature instead of your home, friends, and
Yeah,
family?
the nature. No, no, not that one. I mean, it's one of the like reasons.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Yeah,
Just
yeah,
saying, like, but
yeah,
that is
yeah.
true. I think
Um,
compared to Korea, Australia's nature is just eye awakening. It's like 그만큼 좋은 거 없는 것 같아. 진짜.
mm.
Wow.
And I think, so if I go a little harsh, like, to myself, I think I've come to decide pretty easily, like easier than people, because I didn't know much. Yeah, I mean,
Mm,
I had to, I think I had like many things that I have to think about, um, when it comes to, my staying in this country, in like
mm,
different country. I think that's a really strong one. I
wow.
didn't have much, and I was somehow stupid. But it's not
Yeah.
stupid thing to, decide,
Mm.
staying out.
I guess
It's not
you
that
had
easy.
a opportunity at a young age,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Wow,
And,
that's so
and
good.
so I'm doing welding, and getting visa and like permanent visa in this country with this skill is far more, like, far easier than other career.
Mm,
It's a bit hard physically, but it's much easier and quicker.
wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
When did you decide that you wanted to live in Australia?
It's like about 2 years after, since I come here.
Mm,
Yeah, about like 1.5 years, I
mm,
remember. And I was really love like different, like general, like, what do you say, minds of people. Um, I really didn't like people like caring too much for the people, like someone you don't know.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? 너무 간섭이 많아.
호주 사람이? Or
No, no, in Korea.
oh yeah,
Our
yeah, yeah, yeah.
outlook, like outlook considered like too much.
Mm.
그런 거 너무 좀 신경 많이 쓰고. And I actually had one, like someone I know, older sister. 되게 나 옷 입는 걸로 되게 뭐라 했었거든. It really hurt me.
Ah. Oh,
Yeah,
for
that's
those
one
of you who don't
example.
know, like Kevin, when it comes to fashion and style, guys, like y'all need to learn from Kevin. Straight up. 진짜 Kevin 고등학생 때 공부 열심히 했습니까?
어, 심지어 할 만큼 했는데.
I have never seen anyone study so much about fashion as much as Kevin did.
I learned from
이,
YouTube.
yes, 이것만 짚고 가야 돼. Like Kevin watches how to Cody, like how to code up
Yeah.
like style, how to Cody like coordinate your style and fashion as a what summer spring looks like.
Like
He
yeah,
watches
like a
YouTube.
K, like a K boyfriend.
Mm. And he comes up to me, be like, "Peace, how is this style? How is this? How is this
Yeah,
fashion? Oh, go
I
shopping with
actually
me."
did
And I'm
it.
like,
That's what I actually did.
ah,
Yeah.
that's so good.
I
Oh,
just needed
Kevin.
a lot of help in
Mm.
fashion.
Oh, I didn't know that though. So, like, is that why you kind of escaped from Korea or?
I think that's one of the big reasons.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
되게 people are like not all people in Australia, but like
Yep.
especially Aussies, you
Yeah.
know, they just I think what they need for their clothes is just like short pants and like short top, like just just simple.
Oh,
They don't
yeah.
really care. They're not
That's so
caring
true.
mind what other people like saying. That's
Yeah.
what I really liked.
That's
What I
so
really
true.
want to do, which is even though it's really hard for me.
Yeah.
Look at my hair. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I think it's really important about your outlooks for sure, but Korea is just a bit too much. It's like
yeah.
it's not
It's
just
too
about
much.
your outlooks, it's just everything. Everyone just thinks
Yeah,
so much about other people. It's like 당신 일이나 신경 쓰시지 막 남의 일에 너무 많이 신경 쓰니까 it's like I don't like
that's
that.
exactly what I felt, what I
Yeah,
experienced with other people.
that's so
And
true.
compared to Australia, it's much less, much
Mm,
less. Yeah,
that's so true. In a way, it kind of it takes away the pressure of you need to look good or
yeah,
you have to
yeah.
do good in front of other people.
Those are
But
lots.
at the same time, I think in a way it can make you lazy because you don't put that effort in,
Yeah, at the same
right?
time, I agree with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like whatever that is, it shouldn't be like too much where
Yeah.
you get pressure. I
Mm.
actually get pressure. No, like every 1 or 2 years I visit Korea and I get that pressure again.
Oh yeah, that's so
Yeah.
true.
I'm
Oh my
like, what the
gosh.
heck? Stop, guys.
Yeah, that's so true. When I first came to
uh,
Australia, I was like, oh, I can't live here. It's so slow. It's so lazy. And then I get used to it. And then 3 years later, I go to Korea. And then it's everything's so fast paced. And I'm like, 지하철을 타는데, I'm like, oh my gosh, don't touch me. Oh my gosh, he's touching me. I'm like, I can't do that. And then people are just like shoving one another. And I'm just like,
uh,
I don't think I can live here anymore.
mm,
And I think that's when I kind of like realized, oh, I don't think I can live in Korea anymore. Yeah. But if
mm.
you were to go back to Korea, would you choose to live in Korea or in Sydney?
um, I can live. I can live anywhere, but
Mm,
I mean,
true.
when it comes to pressure, that kind of pressure,
Mm,
I don't like it. I wouldn't want that.
mm,
Uh, anyway, that's like one of the things like really had me to decide staying here.
mm.
Yeah, it's a really big
That's so
part.
true.
I mean, I
Yeah.
get pressure a lot by that.
Mm,
Mm.
wow. I didn't know that because like Kevin, you're always so like bright, always enthusiastic, always this energetic person who always laughs. And I think your energy really sparks so much energy to other people.
Mm.
But I never knew that you would like feel that pressure. Like you would feel that
Yeah,
pressure in Korea as well. But do you still sometimes have that pressure like every now and then in Sydney as well or around
yeah.
Korean
Sometimes
people
in
or
Sydney too. You know, I go. I mean, like Korean church.
oh yeah.
Now when you and I mean, like really big church, and there is a English ministry, like
Mm,
and a KM, which is Korean ministry,
mm.
and 보기에도 they look so different, like in clothing, like
Oh yeah.
you guys so nice and chill, OG style, and including me came like compared to that, you're like we're dressing a lot, we're dressing up.
Mm, that's so
Yeah,
true.
yeah. It has a like pros and cons, but and different like culture.
Mm,
But for me, it's kind of a pressure as well.
mm.
Mm. I want to be look good too.
Hey, you have good imakubi as well. Like you have the
Thank you,
looks. Honestly,
guys.
Kevin.
Guys, she said that,
Hey guys,
So.
this is why we do podcasts because you can't see the face. Like kidding, 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 kidding. Anywho, coming down, coming back down.
Yeah,
Um, so like you moved to a new country here in Australia, and I think one of the biggest things that I think we can feel as like immigrants or like people living as foreigners, I guess, is loneliness. And I don't think it's just for us foreigners as well, but I think it goes to all of us and anyone. But I think there's a difference between being alone and loneliness. Um, can you give us your definition of what might the two difference be? Like being alone and loneliness.
difficult question.
Oh yeah.
So is it kind of my definition of being alone and lonely?
Yeah. I guess like in a more easier way, like how
Yeah,
long did you say it was like 6 years living by yourself?
yeah. Since 20, I came here when I was 20, when it was 2013. Yeah, I started work 2014. Right? So it's been eight
Oh,
years now.
8 years.
Being myself for 8 years now. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Eight
Um,
years. Wow, that's a long time. Like paying rent by yourself, cooking
yeah,
meals for yourself.
school
Not
fee,
even that, like, yeah, school fees,
uh,
like weekly
visa.
fees, visa. Oh man, that's oh shit. Oh yeah, wow.
Don't cut that
Oh,
off.
oh
I
yeah, I
like
should
it
cut that
kind of
off.
fast. I like
Wow. I
that.
mean, living alone away from your own home. Like, how is that? Like, what are the good things and also what are the bad things? Like difficult things.
Ooh, uh, the good things is because you don't have a parent here, like right next to you, who can rely on, like emotionally,
Mm,
um, physically, and financially.
mm,
You, I think you tend to get more dependent, rely, and make more relationship other people who are in the same situation
mm.
as mine, like who are here by themselves, and it creates a bit more deeper relationship, like more bondage than other case somehow.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's a really good one that I've experienced with it.
What's like the biggest challenge living by yourself?
Uh, so I should say about money, like finance.
Mm.
I just can't help with thinking that if I'm in Korea, I wouldn't pay rent,
Oh, that's
and
so true.
I wouldn't like spend like this like money
Mm.
that I would have had like a lot more money than now. You know,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and
Wow.
it would be um like less tiring physically,
Mm.
like emotionally, uh, like stronger maybe
Yeah.
somehow. Yeah, yeah. I think I've told you this before, but like um these days I've come to my limit of my like emotion durability.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's wearing out. It's
Yeah.
wearing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, as time goes, like the more time you live by yourself,
Yeah.
yeah, the durability of being yourself is like really is decreasing.
You mentioned like the durability of living by
Yeah,
yourself, and I think it definitely takes a lot of energy, so much effort because like if you're with your parents, they like 차려줘 your pop. Like if you have your mom living with you, it's like
yeah,
mom literally just makes every meal for you. And I think
yeah.
that's
That's a
the
really big one.
gratefulness. Yeah, it's so big. Like if when you're inside your home with your parents, you don't realize that, but when you come out from your house, I think that's when you really realize like 집 나오면 개고생이다. But when you say like the durability, honestly, I don't know how you feel and I don't really know what that durability is because I have not been living by myself for 8 years. When you reflect back at yourself, how do you think you've maintained that durability? What was your drive that you were able to like live by yourself?
Uh, one thing coming up in my mind is to do what is in front of you very hard so that you can't even think about that you are alone, that you are, you know what I'm saying? Like
네, one more time, one more time.
you're so busy, you're too busy to
Oh,
think about I'm lonely. Like you're alone.
oh,
Yeah,
damn.
yeah. That's like one of the ways I'm saying.
Now, I think that's in a way it could be good because it's a drive that really makes you strive and maybe
Yeah.
reach you as a successful person. But at the
Mhm.
same time, is that healthy? Like for you, do you reckon that was healthy for you?
I don't know. I don't know. It's healthy, but it's one of the way. Um, but other way, I think it's I think it's people
Mm,
having at least one or two close friends who can um, especially do something on your birthday because you are
mm,
here and when it comes to your birthday, that's when kind of loneliness comes like very straightforward, strongly,
oh, oh
more stronger
yeah.
than other days. You know, it's your birthday, but it's like a like ordinary, like
That's
normal
so true.
days,
That's so true.
and you feel like oh, and some people don't even remember like their own birthday. You know,
Yeah, you just skip it.
they, yeah, and they get to
Yeah.
know when they tell they told by other people.
Mm,
You know, but if you got like one or two like close friend who can do even like small things for you, I think that would kind of sustain me.
mm.
Yeah, and like people who can laugh with, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
who
actually
can
important.
even in this lockdown like situation, who,
Mm,
like can you contact through Zoom and
mm.
play like internet game and laughing together. I think that really what sustains me.
Wow.
And you know what I'm gonna say? Like girlfriend, you
Okay, next question.
know. Yeah,
Yes, Kevin.
actually,
Yes.
people. It's not about like doing something.
Mm,
It's about like being with people.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's so important, especially now that we're in lockdown. Um, like we've lost the connection of communication. We've lost that I don't know, like I don't know what it is, but I think we were meant to be with people. Definitely we were
agree.
not born to be by ourselves. But now that we've lost that connection of not being able to meet one another, not being able to connect with one another, I feel like that's getting worse and worse. And we're being more emotionless because we're not really connecting with people, you know? And I think that's really scary right now. Like what's happening with the society right now, it's 너무 무서운 것 같아. 그래서.
약간 여기 와서 느낀 게 나는 이제 한국에서 용돈을 많이 못 받아봤는데
음.
여기 와서 이제 돈을 혼자 벌게 되면서 음, 돈을 이제 많이 안 가져봐서 그런지 좀 쓸 줄 몰랐어. 이렇게
음.
써야 될 때 좀 못 쓰고
음.
그런 게 있었는데 그냥 이제 여기 와서는 좀 써야 될 때 좀 더 쓰게 되게 됐어. 어,
음.
좀 더 즐길 때는 즐기고 그런 게 되게 참 안 됐었어. 내가 봐도 알면서도 잘 안 됐었는데
음.
요즘은 너무 나를 이렇게 프레셔 주지 않으면서 뭐 하고 싶을 때 하고. 음.
음. 오, 살짝 자기한테 보상 주기 이런 건가?
난 항상 그런 게 있었거든 한국에서. 나는 그런 생각이 있어. 내가 무언가를 먹고 싶을 때
음.
언제든지 먹을 수 있는 그런 사람이 되고 싶다.
음.
그랬으면 좋겠다.
음.
뭐 어떤 걱정 안 하고. 근데 내가 생각하는 음식들이랑 비싼 게 아니고 그냥 마트에서 초콜릿
음.
비싸봐야 그냥 마트에서 파는 고기 약간
음.
그런 거 군것질 그런 거를
음.
걱정 없이 언제든 그냥 부담 없이 할 수 있는 점.
아, 예.
네, 아무튼 음, 뭐 I don't know how I get to talk about this, but
Let's talk about like you and your drums. Like I think that's really fascinating.
Mm.
A side of Kevin, he's a worker as a welding person, but B side of him, he's like an actual professional dancer. Like a dancer, no drummer.
Oh.
Sorry. I was like dancer. No, sorry.
Other
Like
than some
the
bit.
yeah, like the image of Kwon is in my head.
Yeah.
If you know Kevin, he's a drummer. Like when he has free time, he would just go to the studio and just play drums all night, right? Like literally.
Yeah, but not this days, sorry.
Yes, because of
Anyway,
lockdown.
I did it before.
Not yeah, that's so true. Before lockdown, like before girlfriend, yeah, but
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, but like with drums, like what is you with drumming? Like how did you get to do drums? Why are you so good at playing drums? Why do you play drums?
아, 부끄럽네요. Um, I don't say like to myself that I'm good at drumming. A bit like I'm usable. I'm usable
Yes,
drummer
he's
in a
usable.
church in churches. That's how I define my level.
Mm, mm.
And um, so when I was much younger, like before year one, um, I grew up in church. I, I was born in Christian family, and so there was a kind of like tradition in my church in Korea where like if you become 13 years old, like year seven, you do drum like
Mm.
like in like worship. And like when I grew up, I saw like many other like brothers playing drum, and people are like changing as they're getting older. And when I became like year seven, at the first week I started. I just I just knew, oh, when I become year seven, like I will get to play drum in my church, and that happened.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
that's how like I get to play.
mm.
I started from church, and every week, yeah, until I come to Australia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Every week. Dang.
Yeah,
I think
every
that's
week.
that I think that's like mainly mostly how all Asian starts. We go to church, we
Yeah,
start an
yeah.
instrument, we start singing, and then that's the rest is history. But yeah.
That
Wow.
information, I haven't got like lessons from like professional drum teachers, so I had to do by
You haven't.
myself
Whoa.
in Korea. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. 좀 아쉬워. 많이 아쉬워.
Right. Have you ever had a time where you wanted to become a professional drummer though?
Definitely, I thought about it. Definitely, but then in reality, yeah.
Why
Um,
not?
I
Like
I just
what?
I just um, but I thought about that, but 어떻게 해야 될까? Yeah, there's not only one thing that I want to do. I want to be.
Mm.
Yeah,
So you had many
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
dreams.
Yeah, right.
Ooh.
Whether it's something whether it could be seen as normal. Mm, yeah, like I don't know, like I don't know. Maybe I want to be a good father.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah, I mean, I'm other than drum, I love drum, but right, I also love to just live a kind of like ordinary life, like
Mm.
work, and like with the money you earn,
Mm.
you like you can like you can go to like restaurant, eat some food with other people, your friends, and
Mm.
from that, I think from that thing, I'm satisfied a lot too.
Mm.
So you're just being a normal time worker. I think that's really like what I like love as well.
Mm.
Like, yeah, like yeah, please. 일을
Would you
해야
어,
yeah.
일을 해야.
돈을 벌고 그런 돈으로
음,
이제 사람들과 또 지낼 수가 있는 거고. 음,
음,
맞아. 그런 일상의 소소한 거 그런 걸 느낄 수 있는 건데,
음.
드럼도 좋지만 그런 것도 좋기 때문에 뭐 드럼 한쪽에서 그런 거 못 느낄 것 같지는 않지만 그래도 뭔가 좀, yeah. 어,
Would you say that you had to, yeah, like you kind of accepted reality?
음,
Or
yeah,
was it
yeah,
just like reality? Okay.
yeah. And
Wow.
그래도 나는 그거를 이렇게 나한테는 이렇게 뭐 이렇게 나쁜 선택은 아니었다라고 또 생각을 해서.
Mm,
음. And
wow.
actually, I said I love drum, but
Mm,
uh, I also doubt about myself if I really love drum.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you really, really love drum, you will think about your reality.
Wow, that's so opposite
Yeah.
of me though. It's like when
Is
I
it?
used to do music or dance, it's like, do you really love music? Like, do you really love music? Like, if you really do love music, you would give your all to it, wouldn't you? Like, 살짝 이런 생각? Rather than
Yeah.
thinking of reality. And I think,
Mm,
um, like even till now, this moment, it's always that like 고민 about do I think
mm,
about the reality or do I chase my dreams? You know? Like 어렸을 때 all these like 진로 적성 검사들
mm,
at in your middle school, like you always do that, I don't know, checkup of what kind of job description you can do when you grow up, right? And
mm,
I don't know if that was a healthy thing, but when growing up, I was always so obsessed with my dreams and my passion. What do I become? Like in church, they would teach you all about purpose. In school, they would teach you about jobs and
mm,
what you're good at and what you like. And I've always been so obsessed with that, not knowing what my purpose is, what my job can be. But 항상 all everyone around me would be like, "Oh, don't think about reality, chase your dreams. Oh, you're good
mm,
at this, just chase your dreams." And I think that
mm,
became to a point where now it's like, do I still chase my dreams? But I'm 25.
mm.
I need to 먹고 살아. But do I
Yeah.
think about reality? And like it's I think it's that thin line where it's really hard to
Mm.
to like do I give up on my dreams to chase reality or do I like yeah, uh, what age were you when you chose reality?
It's very gradual,
Mm.
so kind of hard to draw a line,
Mm.
but I think it's within 2 or 3 years.
진짜? It hasn't been that long?
Yeah. Is
What?
it? 그런 건가?
Yeah.
근데 그러니까 I actually had to define what I mean by like loving drum. So
Mm.
is it I want to become a professional drummer
Yeah.
where in every like major like program, or is it something that I like just playing drum, just like any kind of band, whether it's amateur, whatever, whether
Yeah.
it's church or somewhere. So what I found was I'm just really happy
Mm.
when I'm playing in a band, whatever that is,
Mm. Oh
whatever
yeah.
like what thing that is. So I have the like I'm thrilled when I'm playing drum and like with the band with like in a band like and 되게 잘 맞을 때 그때 막
Mm.
되게 신나, 즐거워. 그래서 좀 이게 알게 된 거는 it doesn't matter like me being a professional drummer. I just like
Wow.
playing drum. Yeah.
Wow. I
Yeah.
think that's so important. Like
Yeah. 그거
it,
좀 yeah.
oh,
You need to define it, kind of like draw a line like
yeah.
somehow.
That's so
Yeah.
true because like in
그
Korea,
음,
yeah. And keep talking, Kevin.
그러니까 좀 그렇게 좀 더 나를 더 잘 알게 됐다고 해야 되나? 내가 드럼을
Wow.
얼만큼 좋아하는지. 그러다
Mm.
보니까 이제 그런 고민에 있어서 내가 뭐 이렇게 더 올인해야 되는 거 아닌가.
Mm.
그런 되게 그런 고민에 있어서 좀 이렇게 명확하게 나 스스로한테 이제 대답을 할 수 있는 그런 게 됐지. 왜냐면 나는 드럼도 좋아하는데 또 이렇게 어떤 일상적인 삶도 잘 살고 싶어, 괜찮게.
Mm.
둘 다 하고 싶은 거야. 근데 알고 보니까 드럼을 어떤 그 내가 다른 사람과 패션을 비교해 보거나 내가 쓰는 시간이라든가 많은
Mm.
것들을 이제 생각해 봤을 때, 나는 드럼을 그냥 하는 것 자체를 좋아하는구나.
Wow.
내가 프로페셔널 되지 않아도 그냥 일반 직장인이어도 I can still play drum, you know?
맞아, 맞아.
Yeah. 그러니까
맞아.
이거구나 한 거지. 아, 그렇구나.
와우. 그게 진짜 좀 아, man, 그 진짜 복잡한 것 같아. Like, especially 그냥 한국에서만 살면은 생각이 안 바뀔 것 같은데 한국에서
음,
살다가 또 호주에서 살다가 막 이렇게 왔다 갔다 하니까 the cultural differences, the mind settings, like 그게 너무 다른 것 같아. 왜냐면 한국 같은 경우에는 like it doesn't matter. Like 물론 실력이 엄청 좋은 상태에서 인정받기 위해서는 like 인정받아야 되니까 인정받기 위해서는 학위가 있어야 되고 아는
음,
사람도 많아야 되고 그래서 no matter what you have to have a degree in order to become a drummer or whatever that is, you know? Like you need to be defined as that degree in order to be a professional. Whereas 호주 와서 많이 느낀 거는 it doesn't matter about a freaking degree. It's just a piece of paper. It doesn't matter about getting approved by people because 실력만 있으면은 okay or no okay 그게 인정이 되는 거니까. But the bottom line is why do you need to get approved from people? You know? Like 내가 행복하고 내가 칠 때 그 행복이 있으면 중요한 건데
음.
사람들 I think they all seek validation or they seek approval that they need to be justified of being what they are.
그런 게 있을 수 있지. 음,
Wow.
그래서, 음. 근데 진짜 그걸 알게 된 게 난 다행인 것 같아. 아, 내가
음,
이만큼 원한 거구나, 드럼을 하기를. 그러다 보니까 뭐 마음적으로도 그런 고민을 그만하게 되고 고민하는 것도 이제 에너지 컨슈밍 하니까. 그래서
맞아. That's so true.
음, 어,
Wow.
I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Do you like
음.
come back to the thought every now and then? 아, 드럼으로 먹고 살 수 있었을 것 같은데 막 이런 생각한 적 없었어?
No. 먹고 못 살았을 거야.
Honesty,
if I'm
honesty.
being, real.
Woo.
예.
Well, that's so good though.
근데
Like I think,
뭔가 그런 생각은 했어. 정말 드럼을 사랑하면은 어느 정도까지 사랑했으면은 그게 좀 내가 그런 재정적으로 좀 이렇게 어렵다고 하더라도
음,
그 안에서 또 내가 이렇게 즐겁게 만족하면서도 정말 사랑했으면 드럼은 살 수 있지
음,
않았을까 하는 생각도 들어. 근데 아마 그
음,
정도가 아닐 수도 있는 거지. 근데 초반에 좀 그게 힘들었던 것 같아. 아, 내가 생각했던 것만큼 드럼을 좋아하지 않네? 라는 거를 이제 조금 이제 받아들여야 되고 그럴 때 조금
음.
썩 기분이 좋지 않았어. 좀 이제
Oh
프라이드가
yeah.
있었나 봐.
Oh yeah. I think I
아,
definitely understand what that feeling
아,
is.
예.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wow.
영화관 해야지.
아, 진짜 대박이다. That's man, that realization, like 그게 딱 자기가 자기 자신을 진짜 냉정하게 바라봤을 때 할 수 있는 선택인
뭔가
거잖아. 어떻게 보면 아닌가?
모르겠어. 어쨌든 하게 돼가지고.
진짜
그래서
대박이다.
그냥 뭐 이제 뭐 누가 그게 이제 뭐 좀 실력이 안 되니까 하는 타협이라고 하면은 뭐 아무 말 하진 않을 건데 어쨌든 뭐 내가
에이.
그만큼 좋아하는구나. 어.
음.
근데 진짜 신나. 교회에서
와.
할 때 진짜 신나.
아, 근데 진짜 케빈이랑 하면 행복해. Like,
어,
cause like we first met in a band.
I
Um,
right.
yeah, right?
그러네,
Like it's not
그러네.
even 동네. Like it was at JMC.
아,
Like
그렇구나.
totally
맞아.
different person. Like I didn't even know you, and
예.
then we met, and then apparently you were Korean, and then 서로
예.
한국 사람인 거 알면서도 we would speak in English,
Yeah, I remember in the bus.
right? And then we would get off at the same place, and I'd be like, "Where do you live?" And then you're like, "Oh, West Strat." I'm like, "What do you mean? That's my neighborhood." And then apparently we live in the same neighborhood, and then
예.
oh, the rest is history. Because like you went to church, you were leading a group. I was like leading my group as well, and then it was so funny because there were so many similar things. But wow, what the heck? That was
Is
so
ago, is it?
funny.
아,
I think that was like almost four or
last.
5 years ago.
Already?
Oh,
Wow, can't believe it.
what?
Can't believe it.
Yeah. Oh my
오,
gosh, that's so 소름 돋아.
이상해.
Like I feel like I've known you for
예.
a long time, but literally 그렇게 오래됐다고?
Is it?
Wow. Because it's only been like 5 years for me coming to Australia. Oh my gosh, already 5 years? Anyways, yes. But
Anyway,
yes, I met you in a band first and
yeah,
we got to know each other because of music. I
you're right.
was somehow singing, you were drumming, and
Yeah.
then a few months later we became in this Maranatha. We bumped into each other once in a while in the studio.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And then we became Maranatha, where we would be
yeah,
doing music together. And
yeah, right.
I think
Who
like
knew?
the huh?
Who knew?
I know, right? Like for
Yeah.
real, like what the heck? But anyway, like I think the main difference with when I get to do music with you, like I no
Mhm.
longer do music these days as well, but when I used to do music with you, like when you played drums for me and when I would hamaja with you, like I felt that happiness, like the joy because
Thank you.
you don't focus as much as the perfection music, you know, like the musicians, they focus so much on the perfection, like one beat or like one rhythm and like 박자 안 맞으면 막 찡그리고 막 그런 거. But you're always so chill because you're just like, oh, it's okay. Oh, I'm okay. And it's not
Mm.
the fact about the drums, it's just your personality. And because your personality is so bright as well and you love playing drums, 그 vibe가 너무 느껴지는 거야.
Oh, that's good.
And
Good.
so 부담 없고 그게 너무
Uh,
즐거운 거지, 음악이.
um,
And I think that's one of the main reasons why like when I had different songs, I would kind of call you up and be like, Kevin, can you play drum for me? Kevin, do this for me. And yeah,
eh.
I would kind of choose you because like you're more comfortable.
Woohoo.
Because that
Yeah.
vibe, I think that vibe is so important.
Mm.
Ah,
Yeah.
man,
Thank you very
I miss
much.
those times. I miss those
Such
times.
a good interview.
Sorry, it's just like encouragement time, eh?
I really like that.
아,
Yeah, thanks for
근데
that.
yeah.
Hey,
No, what do you mean? Like it's like it's not even thank you because that's like real like 너무 like 진심인 거? Man,
mm,
I miss like being in a band with you. Man,
you're
진짜
thinking
즐거웠네.
starting a new band then? Nah, I'm joking.
Huh?
cut.
띡. Okay, moving on, Magida. Hey, but when's the last time you were playing drums though?
그니까. I mean, even like just 언제지? 아, 요즘 이제 약간 좀 거의 기억도 안 나.
Damn.
It's been several months. I think maybe I'm just having a different season than
음,
before.
음,
You know?
for sure.
요즘은 I'm really into reading. Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, now let's talk about books.
Oh no, 그냥
Kevin
I'm
is
not
a
a good reader.
bookworm. What
No,
do
no,
you
no.
mean?
Just
You read so many books.
no.
Ooh. Well,
Yeah.
what's the book that you're reading these days?
So I'm reading something written by Timothy Keller. Its title
Ooh.
is The Meaning of Marriage.
결혼에 대하여?
결혼의 의미 한국말에 Meaning of Marriage. 네. 네, 네.
Ooh.
그냥 뭐 결혼하려고 읽는다기보다는
Kevin
이제
is ready to go.
에이, 그냥 거지 뭐.
Okay. One thing that you've learnt about
I
marriage.
learned.
Mm.
So I'm still reading it, and I've come to question people, especially like only two married people,
Mm.
that why did you get married?
Ooh.
And 약간 why you should get married 이런 거.
Mm.
그냥 뭐 성경에 써 있는 there's a biblical answers, but I just wanted to hear from like a person, people, like married people.
Ooh. Yeah.
And one of my close friend, what he said was, if I say it in a word, it was growth. Why you need to get married? His answer was growth. And when it comes to that answer, I'm like the question, in this book, the book, The Meaning of Marriage,
Mm.
Tim Keller also said the same one, the growth.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. And
Growth.
it's a biblical answer, and I've come to think about it, and it is a like good answer. Not only good, but also I can relate to.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Growth.
And I
What?
found myself that if I'm being alone like till the end. If I get married,
음,
I'll get I'll get to get up to some kind of like degree,
음.
like where I can get up to if I'm being alone. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, can you repeat that again? If you get to be
그러니까
alone.
결혼을 하면
음,
내가 혼자일 때 뭔가 이렇게 이뤄낼 수 없는 뭔가 될 수 없는 그런 게 될 수 있다. 그러니까 잠시만, let me 조금
okay.
그러니까
So,
내가
wait, wait, so,
어,
okay, so when you get married,
어,
you are able to accomplish the things that you cannot do when you're an individual
yeah,
being.
thank you. That's the thing.
Man, I'm so good with
And
words.
yeah, and I'm actually quoting from books, and I agree with
Yep,
them like
yep,
100%.
yep.
And yeah, yeah. Um,
Wow.
yeah. So like yeah, it's really interesting books, and I think that's one really crucial uh thing to think about when it comes to marriage, the growth.
Growth.
Like 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 in like every aspect, like whether it's like emotion and like personality and spiritual, like any aspect, right? And growth is really important. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Do you think that you've reached your limit of like growth as an individual?
그거 되게 요즘 좀 많이 진짜 느끼는 것 중 하나야.
오.
그러면서 내가 뭔가 같이 있으면 더 잘할 것 같은데 라는 생각이 진짜 많이 해. 뭐
What?
가봐야 아는 거지만 그래도
음.
뭔가 나는 이렇게 같이 하면 더 힘이 나는 그런 사람이거든.
Yep.
음.
맞아. What are those aspects? Like 어떤 부분에서 그런 걸 느껴?
진짜 현실적으로 방 정리.
여보세요.
되게
여보세요. Excuse me? Like 방 정리를 와이프한테 시키시는 건가요?
아니 시킨다는 게 아니라 그래도
어.
이제 뭔가 진짜 나를 이렇게 보는 사람이 있잖아. 나는 그것 때문에 그리고 내가 그렇게 어질러서 내가 사랑하는 사람이 그 싫어하는 거를 보게 하고 싶지 되게 않아 나는. 그러니까
Okay.
더 이렇게 하게 될 것 같고,
음.
아무래도 실제적으로 이제 보는 눈이 있으니까
그치,
이제
그치, 그치.
언제든.
Yeah.
그래서 내가 더 해야 할 거를 진짜 하게 되는. 그러다 보면은 좋은 습관도 생기겠지. 난
음.
그렇게 믿어. 난 그러니까 나를 봤을 때,
Wow.
음,
That's
이게 참
interesting.
혼자로 참 안 되는 게 진짜 많은 것 같아. 지금은
음.
하나만 얘기를 했는데, 근데
음.
진짜 그런 게 있어. 음,
그럼 what is your strength as your individual being?
음, 아, 뭐라 이게 어느 때까지 갈지 모르겠지만,
음.
그래도 그건 좀 있는 것 같아. I'm always try to learn and open to learn.
Oh yeah.
나는 그래, and I hope that would last like everlasting. I would always be
음. 음.
open to learn.
Wow.
그런 것 같아.
Wow.
아는 게 많이 없어서 그래.
아, 진짜? 그런가? Maybe. 나도 그런 거 같기도 한데, like when I was in high school, I hated studying. I hated getting information, right? But then, like 지금 이제 와서, like I'm 25, I'm now learning. Like I don't understand why, but maybe because I didn't gain much information back then. 근데 뭐 모든 사람마다 시기가 있나 봐. 배우고 지식을 쌓는 시기가. 근데 어 하이스쿨 때는 인정 못 했는데 I think learning and education it's gonna go until you die. 계속 배움은 있을 수밖에 없는 것 같은 건 인정인 것 같아. 와.
그런 이제 그런 스트렝스가 있는 것 같아. 근데
음.
그런 것도 그러니까 배우고 나서 이게 내 거가 돼야 되는데 내 거를 이제 또 이제 I gotta do it like frequently to make a good
그치.
outcome.
Yep.
근데 그게 이제 좀 안 된다는 거지. 예를 들어 방정리 같은 경우도 같이 있으면 정말 내가 싫어도 계속 하게 될 것 같은데
음.
나를 사랑하는 사람도 있으니까
That's so
그런 거.
interesting.
그렇게 작은 걸
그,
얘기하자면,
아니, 궁금한 거는 이제 남자들 같은 경우, I think, I'm not sure, but I think personally, from my opinion, 남자들은, 어, 그런 거 스스로 잘 못하는 것 같아. Like Kevin은 you've lived by yourself for a very long time and
음,
still 방 정리에 있어서 if you feel like if 누군가가 옆에서 본다는 그 느낌이 있으면 더 열심히 할 것 같다고 하잖아.
음,
근데 대체적으로 남자들이 좀 그런 편인가?
음. I have to be very careful in saying that.
Okay, let's move on to the next question.
근데 잘 모르겠어. 글쎄, 이런 방정리에 대해서 이제 그런 면에 있어서
음,
이렇게 사람들과 대화를 해본 적이 있는지 모르겠는데 건강분들 아니 근데 뭐 우리 형 얘기하자면은
음,
나랑 되게 다르게 정리
음.
진짜 잘해 그때 아주 깔끔해 방.
Okay,
아,
그럼 모든 남자들은 안 그런가 보다.
it's
Okay,
about depends on individual.
that's
예,
so true. 그런가 보다
음,
진짜. You know,
진짜.
when you say growth, like, do you like developing yourself as a person?
Yes, yes, do. That's not the reason why I'm reading. I'd like to read it.
음,
Um, you know, as you guys hearing English이 I'm not like 그렇게 막 fluent하지가 않아. 그렇게 근데 and I'm still living in Australia. And I
음,
gotta do it. If I start like learning English, I'm getting worse. So I have to keep reading or keep speaking in English with other people. 근데
wow.
그런 것 때문에도 that's why I'm like one of the reasons I'm reading like for like development.
음,
그리고 나는 I admit that I'm not as smart. 그래가지고 진짜 나는 그렇게 내가 느껴 I feel like so dumb. 그래서 막
oh, I
뭘 해야
understand
되지?
that. Oh, yes. Feels, man. I understand you
not
100%.
everyone.
I can relate,
그래가지고
man. 아,
근데 아무리 좀 이제 왜 이럴까 생각을 해봤을 때 뭐 여러 가지 이유가 있겠지. 근데 뭐 왜 그럴까보다도 좀 어떻게 좀 이제 좀 발전을 시킬까. 내가 실제로 일을 하면서도 불편함을 느껴. 뭔가 어, 어려운 문제 같지가 않은데 뭐 이럴 때도 이렇게 빨리 못하지, 잘 못하지.
음,
음. 일을 하는 때도 it's not only about your hand skills. 좀 더 머리가 내가 똑똑하고 하면 더 빠르게
음,
잘할 수 있을 것 같은데 실제로 그걸 이제 경험을 하니까
음,
좀 어떻게 이걸 좀 디벨롭하지? 라는 거에
음,
있어서 그냥 책 읽기가 아무래도 좀 뭔가 되게 you wouldn't get like feasible outcome like instantly,
음.
but I think I'm sure it's a good way to develop like
Oh, yeah,
yeah, like
for
being
sure.
smart.
That's so
yeah.
true. 진짜
Mm.
when I think 진짜 when I see Kevin, I think the one big thing that I've learned consistently, like something that I learned from you is no matter how good or bad, it doesn't matter about the skill or the ability. It's about the consistency. And you have that consistent drive because when I saw Kevin for the first time, I knew that you were Korean, but you never speak to me in Korean once. 나,
그렇구나.
나랑 한국말 처음 텄을 때가 it was Maranatha.
Is it?
Yeah. So
Did I?
So I've met you and it had to be like 2 years later until we actually spoke in Korean.
Mm,
And
wow.
so I was like, is Kevin not Korean? Is Kevin uncomfortable of speaking Korean? Like, and then I made my own decision where it's like, yeah, Kevin doesn't like Korean.
아,
Maybe Kevin doesn't like Korea at all, that he's not speaking Korean.
어.
And so, yeah, and I was so like, I was really amazed because you would not choose to
음,
speak in Korean and you would
wow.
constantly challenge yourself to speak in English.
음,
And I was like, 이 사람 뭐지? 왜 그러지? 막 되게 궁금했어. Because you would
아,
always speak in English, and I found that so amazing.
wow.
Because most of all the people, like Korean people that I meet, when
음,
I ask them or when they like a lot of people ask me, hey, like talk to me in English so that I can learn English and like like hear
음,
English, then I'd be like,
음,
hey, like talk back to me in English, and they'd be like, oh no,
음.
I'm shy, I can't do that. And I'm like I'm offering this time with you, but they say no.
네.
But for you, like you just speak on English, and I'm just like,
예.
wow, like people should learn from you about that, you know,
Oh,
like
thank you,
that
thank you.
consistency and that confidence, like wow.
Man, I don't even remember that I did it.
Man, maybe that's a
모르겠어.
discipline that you already have in your body.
Nice.
Man.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of discipline, uh, is there a special like ritual or a self-discipline that you do for yourself?
Um, it's the same answer. I think that is reading.
Oh, wow.
And like, cause I'm reading that book, The Meaning of Marriage,
Mm,
and I like I've come to know like in an hour I can read like 10 to 13 pages,
mm,
very small, because I had to look at words that I don't know,
mm,
like through Google, and even like and there are also like sometimes I face with the with sentences like something that I can't understand, even though all the words in that sentence something I know.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's where like I like scratch my head and what the heck is this, you know?
Mm,
And that's
that's so
where
true.
like where it consumes my time in
Mm,
reading.
that's so true.
근데 이제 그래서 I have to know how long it's gonna take for me to finish that book. So I have to plan it. So and I have to read my
Mm,
certain amount of page in a day. And
mm.
that would be I'll say that would be a discipline.
Wow.
Yeah. And with that book that I'm reading now, I'm not doing it like successfully.
Mm.
Yeah, there are many days I failed, but I'm still reading.
Oh yeah, I think that's the
Yeah,
important part. You're still doing,
yeah.
you're still going.
But, you know,
Wow.
I've read more than half.
Can you show me the book? I want to see it.
Ah, yeah, yeah. Meaning of marriage. I
Oh.
read more than half.
How many
So,
pages are in that?
let me see. It's pretty small, not too big, like
Oh,
my
I
hand
thought it was
size.
thick.
But let me
It
show
looks
you
pretty
my.
thick. Oh my goodness. 조금만 뒤로, 조금만 뒤로. Yes. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yes. That's like Harry Potter,
Yeah.
what the heck?
So 280 pages. So if I read 10 pages a day, it takes like a month.
와우. 아, 근데 케빈도 계산하고 읽는구나, 책을.
안 그랬었는데
어.
알게 됐어. I gotta do it. I need to plan it
Wow.
to like
Oh
finish
yeah.
it as quick as I can
Yep, that's so
and
true.
being efficient.
Right, right. Same with me. Like I'm right now like I'm reading a book and I was like I started this book in January and I'm still not
Mm.
finished because I haven't had the time to read it. And I was like 방학이니까 like might as well like tackle down something, like tackle down a book. And I was like I'm gonna finish this. So like 기간을 정해놓고 하루에 25
Yeah,
pages each.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so yeah.
근데 진짜 그거 모두가 그런 건 아니지만 그냥 그건 알았어. 이렇게 해야 되는 사람도 있구나. 해야지
음,
얼른 잘 읽는 사람이 있구나.
음,
근데 이제 이렇게 생각하게 된 게 그 이제 교회에서 어떤 양육 훈련을 이제 받는데
음,
거기서 이제 책 하나 읽었어야 됐어. It's
음,
about like having relationship with God through
음,
words and prayer, especially for
음.
prayer. 그래 기도하는 것도 되게 계획을 가지고 해야지 you can do it like consistently.
That's so true.
And even John Piper said that too. The very same thing,
Yep.
like yeah, the same thing the author of that book said. Yeah.
계획을 해야
기도
계획을
제목도
해.
적고 약간
So I guess
그런 거.
it's intentionally plan.
예, 예.
Oh.
그러면서 존 파이프 하는 목사님도 하시는 말씀이 그렇게 안 하면 you wouldn't success. 진짜 이렇게 딱
Really?
straightforward하게 얘기해. 근데 나는 진짜 그래서 알고 있다. 근데 책
어,
읽는 것도 나는 이제 그러더라고. 이렇게 해야. 누구는 앉아서 저런 거 뭐 3-4시간이면 읽는데 I don't know if they are human.
same. I can't do that either.
And even in Korean one,
아,
I can't finish like within a day.
진짜 그건 책worm.
Mm.
Well, you know, when it comes to like intentional plan, like especially like with relationships with God or
Yeah.
just in life in general, there are so many times where you just want to break that and you get lazy or you get burned out that you don't want to do that. Like, how do you overcome that burdenness so that you can still manage and maintain that intentional plan?
One that I did was reading a book, reading a Christian book. Because I experienced that when I was reading a book. It kind of ignites me. Yeah,
Wow.
in going to place of like pray and reading word, but this kind of thing would be very different to each individual.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
how God like restores and heals people is very different. Yeah, but the obvious and common outcome is that we end up in reading and being closer to prayer, whatever the way God did it for us.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that.
I want to ask you a last question. Like, how, like, of course, you're a person too. And, like, when it comes to, like, your religion, Christianity, like, have you ever had that disconnection with God?
Yes, absolutely.
And what did you do to kind of restore that disconnection with God?
Um, I remember. So after about a month of like being rebellious against God, even though like I'm being aware that I'm going against God. Um, uh, at the end of that time, I met a I met an older sister in the church. We got to talk, and what she just shared like her life. Um, yeah, I mean the conversation was just flexible. 그냥 이런 거 얘기하다가 she just come to share her life, like her like spiritual life, like this and that. And so at the end, I was encouraged, and she encouraged me in going back to God. And I think mainly because even though she encourages me, if there's not a heart like wanting to go back to God, this wouldn't happen. I wouldn't come back. Yeah. 그런 이제 하트가 있었으니까 뭐 fundamentally.
Wow.
근데 이제 other than that, that sister really encouraged me and helped me like turning back.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I think that's when God maybe uses people, right?
I remember that time, place. Yeah.
Wow.
I think if she hears this one, I think she knows.
That's
Thank
really
you.
grateful.
Thank you, 누나.
Yeah, oh yeah, 영상 편집 한번 하실래요? 막 이래. Wow. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much for sharing like your thoughts and experiences. Like really, really last question. Is there anything you'd like to leave behind in the lab before you go?
Wow, that was why it's slap. So cool. I love
Leave it
it.
all behind in the lab.
Leave it
Yes.
behind.
Mm-hmm.
That's 질문이 어려운데 잠깐만. But it sounds very like so cool question.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
something I'd like to leave behind.
Think about it.
근데
Uh,
근데
I want to
만약에
try.
그 방금 그 질문을
음.
뭔가 내가 좀 한국말로 하면 더 와닿을 수 있을 거야.
아, okay. 그러니까 오늘 이 lab session을 했잖아요, 저희가. So, like, the whole theme about this lab is like 살짝 과학 실험실 같은 느낌인 거야. 그래서 실험실 안에서 like this is like 실험실, right? I know it's cheesy and corny, but this is 실험실, right? 실험실 안에서 이제 케빈이 갖고 있는 그냥 생각, just life thoughts. Like 지금까지 살아오면서 많은 경험이 있고, and I think your story, like you as an individual person, has so much to share. And this hour 너무 부족해. 그치만 오늘 이렇게 함께 얘기해주고, like 살짝 케빈이 실험 당했어. 그런 거라 생각하면 돼. 막 이래. So we got to break down your thoughts, like break down your life as we get to listen to you. But before leaving this lab, it's like 가기 전에 좀 뭔가 비워두고 가고 싶은 거나 아니면 내려놓고 싶은 거거나 아니면은 이 실험실에서 두고 가고 싶은 거. 그래서 뭐 예를 들어서 시간이 지나고 이 팟캐스트는 이제 퍼블릭 될 거잖아. 그래서 다시 돌아왔을 때, 뭐 들었을 때, 아, 내가 이때 저랬구나. 지금은 어떻지? 하고 리플렉트 할 수도 있는 거고. 아니면은 그냥 아, 여기에 묻어두고 가고 싶다. 뭐 이런 느낌이 될 수도 있는 거고. 그냥 실험인 만큼 this is gonna be like your file, your case. So when you come back to it, 뭔가 아, 이땐 그랬고 아, 그랬구나. 살짝 이런 타임 캡슐 같은 느낌?
음,
그렇게
그러니까
되나?
미래의 나한테 영상 편지를 남겨야 되나?
그렇게 해도 되고, like 진짜 그렇게 해도 돼. 가장 먼저 생각나는 거나 아니면 아, 이 떠오르는 거? 이런 거? 예. 그냥 두고 가고 싶은
그냥
것이 무엇인가?
음, 음, 그러고 싶은 거
음.
생각나는 게 있는데 in the future if I hear this one I will remember I will definitely remember what the things that I'm struggling with um, oh let me tell you future of me
좋아, let's get it.
yeah I hope when you hear this again I hope you 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 grow more that you are thankful that you went through that struggle even though I'm just so much pressed by these yeah, I hope that each of me you are okay then yeah really 그럴 것 같아요
Nice, nice. 그걸 살짝 한국말로 한 번 더 translate 해줘요.
오케이
I'm gonna change this one more time.
미래의 나에게
Such easy.
지금 이제 뭐 자세히 얘기할 수는 없지만 이제 예전에 이제 좀 극복하려고 하는 것들 이제 또 그런 이제 어려움들이 있는데 이제 미래 나한테 같이 남기고 이제 하고 싶은 말은 이제 미래 내가 이제 다시 봤을 때 그때 너는 그런 스트러글이 있었어서 그래도 좋았다 이만큼 성장할 수 있었다 지금은 거시기하고 힘들지만 미래 너는 분명 이제 이걸 들으면서 그래도 그거 덕분에 이만큼 성장했다 그럴 거라고 얘기하고 싶어.
Hey, so good, so good. 진짜, like Kevin, you are one of the most strongest person, the most consistent and enduring person. I think living alone in a different country away from home is the most challenging thing that a person can go through. And yeah, like you said, Kevin, you're struggling. Lots of things are happening all at once, but still, you remain, you're alive, and I'm grateful of that. So Thank you so much, Kevin, for being our special experiment of the day. And thank you so much for your time and your
Thank you
life that
for
you
inviting me
shared.
as an interview, the first interview. Oh my gosh.
So good,
Oh,
so good. Thank you so much. Well, my tongue is twisted. But anyone who is listening, if you have any questions or comments, you can find me on Instagram at peacequan or leave a message at leave it all behind in the lab. Thanks for listening. See you all in the next episode. Bye.
bye.